We're joined by I-24 News UK correspondent Jonathan Sacerdoti. Always good to have you with us. Obviously another big moment in your neck of the woods here now. So it feels like the drama has passed a bit around this subject, Jonathan. So what happens today?
Well, David, today it will be 47 years since the UK joined the European Economic Community. And finally, after 3 years of wrangling, after a referendum where 17.4 million British people chose to leave the European Union as it is now, it's going to happen. As Big Ben does not strike 11 p.m. tonight because it's got repair works being carried out on it, Britain will leave the European Union. And the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, will hold a cabinet meeting today in Sunderland. That was the first city to back Brexit in June 2016 after the EU referendum when the results came in. Over there, more than 60% voted leave. But remember that the country is still fairly divided, and while plenty of people will be celebrating in Parliament Square, where Union Jack flags will be flying, there will be others who may be sadder to see Britain leave the European Union and who may even be protesting around the country, especially in places where the vote went the other way.
Now, you mentioned this, the country largely divided on these issues and fresh out of elections. So what's the next anticipated sort of hot-button issue for the country around trade, or what else might come up?
Well, the Prime Minister is certainly trying to put a good spin on events, and so are those in favour of Brexit. That's really why he won that huge majority in the general elections. We've been through 3 Prime Ministers since then. He's the third. There was David Cameron, of course, Theresa May, and now Boris Johnson at the helm. But, of course, as you say, there's plenty still to come, and not much will change necessarily tonight when Britain leaves the European Union. Instead, what starts is an 11-month period of negotiations with the European Union about the future relationship, and there could be quite some wrangling there ahead as well. But there is that 11-month time limit. Boris Johnson said he won't extend, even though that is a very tight schedule, a very tight timetable. So the two sides are going to have to really up their game and see if they can come up with something which satisfies both sides, is not too punitive, doesn't create too much bad feeling, but also doesn't give the impression that you can have your cake and eat it, be out of the European Union and still enjoy all of the benefits. So there's talk already about whether or not there'll be a level playing field in order to have a quota-free free trade agreement. Boris Johnson isn't keen on that. He says that Britain is leaving so that it doesn't have to obey all the rules and regulations of the European Union and is open to divergence from them. But of course the EU says that if you want to stay in the club, so to speak, you have to stay obeying all the rules, even if you no longer have a say in what those rules will be because you've left.
Well, thank you, obviously, for the update here from London. Jonathan Sacerdoti. We'll have more from you later on.